Let's see if that works. I've attempted to make this video multiple times. I really don't like being on camera. I don't like the way I talk. I don't like my voice, believe it or not. I don't like talking on video. I love talking, but I don't like talking on video. But I thought you guys all deserved to know what the hell has been going on with me, because I've had a lot of people ask me. I'm not embarrassed to tell people face to face, and I haven't actually had any bad reaction. I've had some, pretty incredible, because I actually thought that there was a lot of stigma behind this, because being born in the 80s, growing up in the 90s, everyone that I knew that had this was naughty, struggled with learning, and just bounced off walls and stuff like that, whereas that wasn't me at all. I got ducks award at my primary. I never struggled scholastically. I never struggled with friends. Never struggled with I've been with my husband for nearly 15 years. I'm only 36, so there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought would make me actually put into that category, but I had a lot going on in my head and I needed answers, and I was very, very open to figuring out what those answers were. I was very unhappy, and I knew it wasn't postnatal. I'd only had a baby less than, I think it was not 6 months, about 8 months prior. I didn't have postnatal depression. I didn't have depression. They trialled me on antidepressants. I had the adverse reaction. I knew I didn't have depression. I do have complex PTSD. I've known that for 8 years. I struggled to accept that, but it's pretty much a given when you sort of look at different things that have happened. It's pretty shit. So I always put down a lot of things to that, thinking that that's probably just what it was, but anyway, it wasn't. And then that's when I sort of realised that there was something else going on. There was more to this shit, and I needed help. So clearly it wasn't depression, so my emotions didn't need to be stopped or paused or brought down. I needed my dopamine levels to be worked with. So long story cut short, went to a psychologist, went to a neurologist, went to a psychiatrist. Neurologist cleared me of traumatic brain injury, which is what I thought that I had from the 2 craniotomies and smashing my skull plate years ago. I didn't have that. My brain's intact. So you can't say that I've got a fucked brain, which is really nice. I had IQ tests done. I had an IQ test done. I had multiple tests done in regards to high functioning ADHD. I was diagnosed with high functioning combined ADHD without the hyperactivity with a high IQ. So it was hard. I sort of saw it coming a wee bit, because I'd obviously spoken to the specialists about this possibility. But my first question to my doctor was, how the hell have I got to 36 and never been diagnosed? My brothers used to say I had it. I used to sort of think that they're just being assholes, which they usually were. We brushed it off because I didn't struggle scholastically and stuff like that. And I did interrupt all the time. I would still pass my tests and exams without studying. I used to talk back to the teachers, usually probably a bit more for attention, but other times because I thought people were stupid. I'm really sorry to so many of my teachers. So many of them I love. The ones that got me, I was great too. But the ones, I was I was just a dick. So I'm sorry to those ones. There's a few of you that do not do that. That sorry is not actually directed at you, because you were the dickhead, not me. So anyway, I was trialled on medication, and for the first time in my life, I could see the world in a really different way. I never knew that my brain was different. I just thought I was a loud mouth. I thought that I talked too much. I thought I was extroverted, and I've always been able to learn, but at times lack a bit of common sense, can be a bit naive. Not so much these days. As I've matured and gone through things, I've sort of learned, and I've learnt mechanisms to sort of mask everything that was going on in my head. When it comes to the hyperactivity though, I do feel like that side of it, which I don't have, but I do believe I have it inside my mind. So my head is constantly in overdrive. I bite off more than I can chew. I thought it was down to having 4 kids, a husband who acts like a teenager at times, and 2 businesses, busy businesses as well, that need daily work. And so I just thought that I was a bit of a workaholic, but I was chasing my tail. So things that, reaching deadlines, I was struggling. I was really, really struggling to focus, stay focused. I hyper-focused on things without focusing on the important, prioritizing. I couldn't understand why I was doing that. So a lot of the symptoms that I struggle with, the biggest thing for me, I hated myself. I absolutely hated how much I spoke. I hated how loud I was. I hated the fact that I'd interrupt people. That was my biggest thing. I hate that. It makes me look like I don't listen to people, which I actually genuinely do, and I genuinely care. I just would have this impulsiveness to not shut the fuck up. So I'm really sorry if anyone ever thought that I was being rude, or that that I wasn't caring or anything like that, because it really was not the case at all. It's never been the case. But yeah, I just had an impulsiveness, and it's just a part of me. My brain is wired differently, and I didn't know that. I thought that I was just like everybody else, but clearly not. So for the first time, as I said, I feel like I'm normal, but my sort of normal. I'm not normal, but as normal as Julia can be, so partially normal. The medication really leveled me, and it really calmed me down, and it took away immediately what I thought was anxiety, insomnia as well. I was able to shut my brain off at the end of the day because all the thoughts weren't rattling around in my head. My moods, I'm a lot nicer to my immediate sort of family. I don't get cranky. I don't get as frustrated because I can actually do things whilst there's still noise happening around me, whereas before I couldn't do that. Beforehand I was having trouble concentrating. I was having trouble, I've written down a few notes, so that's why I'm looking over here, sorry. Having trouble concentrating, having trouble focusing. I could lose focus during tasks. I found it hard to time manage under pressure. I got distracted easily. I forgot to finish tasks. I forgot to go back to stuff that I had been distracted from, and they were important things as well, like deadlines. A lot of accounting deadlines, and it's probably my worst. And I would have difficulty listening to people at times if the topic I found really, really not interesting. So that's difficult. I don't know if that's just me, but if someone bores the shit out of me, it's keeping track of daily tasks. So I'd have to write down notes all the time, pinpoint notes, so I didn't forget things, to stay in the moment without being distracted. Impulsive behaviours for stimulation, like I love to drink, binge drink. I actually haven't had a beer for 4.5 months whilst I've been working on figuring out what the hell was wrong with me. I would smoke when I would drink. I still smoke sometimes if I socialise because otherwise I'm bored. And gambling, like I like to play pokies, I think, for that stimulation and still being in a social environment, but not having to actually be in a social environment, which I really was drawn to. It's funny because all those things are things that people have an addictive nature for. I know I'm not addicted to any of these, but I liked them, and I liked them because they stimulated me. And now, since being on medication, I could give and take. Like, I know that I've reached my goal now with not drinking, so I'm more than happy to have a beer if I want to, and I just have no drive to reach out for one, but I hopefully won't feel guilty when I do, especially the fact I'm going to a beer festival on Saturday, so that's going to be hard. I would overeat. I've always struggled with that. I love food. Food's good. I'm finally getting my weight sort of in check. I've been working on that as well with my gut health and my physical health, which, yeah, anyway, that's another story. Excessive talking. Yeah, I don't know if that one's true, hey? That was the fucking worst. And yeah, the impulsiveness to interrupt. And then I would hyper-focus. I struggled with attention, moods due to frustration, irritability, overreact emotionally, and the list goes on. Little did I know that this is not how normal brains function. It was my I think it's neurodivergent, but that word is used in a really broad range. And I don't think I'm broken, I'm just different, I'm just wired differently, and I didn't realise that, which was really friggin' hard to accept. I like the fact that I got told I have a high IQ, that was pretty cool, so I can use that to my advantage when I'm having an argument with my family. Be like, well, why aren't you listening to me, I'm so smart. Where my brother would probably turn around and say, yeah, but you got no common sense, which is usually true. But yeah, what else have I got here? Yeah, I can catch my thoughts now. I can catch my thoughts, I can control my emotions, I'm not anxious, I can sleep, I'm happy, and just everything. And I'm fucking being productive, and I can laugh at myself, I've got my wit back, I can do all the things that I should have been able to do, and I don't feel sad. That's the best thing. I feel sad saying that, but I actually don't genuinely feel sad. And I absolutely love being around people that make me happy again. And so, on that note, thank you. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you very much for all your support. I have high functioning combined ADHD without the hyperactivity. Don't forget the higher IQ. That's the only part that I really am happy to accept, but I'm not embarrassed. I'm really not. And I really hope that people can accept me for who I am. They always usually have, but really try and understand that ADHD, there's so many different types. Look into it. Fuck, if you've got it, if you think you might have it as well, you're more than welcome to reach out. But yeah, it is so different to what the stigma makes of it. Totally different to what I actually thought it was. And now that I am diagnosed, I can no longer have this burden, unknown burden, and I can use my capabilities, my potential as a gift and advance in life, and hopefully one day, hopefully I can say that I'm a success, and my kids can, my children can actually look at me and see a strong female.
Very in the first place.
Oh, that's very sweet.
When can we go to netball?
Okay, I gotta go because I gotta take this one to netball. Anyway, yeah, thank you everyone for your support. Love yous to bits. Sorry about my mouth looking funny. I've got bruxism and I talk too much. So, love yous.